What's up, Facebook land? How y'all doing this morning on this lovely Wednesday morning? I know a lot of you all are probably at work, doing what we do, turning curls, locking them up, doing all that wonderful stuff that make people so beautiful. I have been really trying to figure out more methods to help my industry, the salon industry, really figure out how to get this money thing right, y'all. This is probably one of the most difficult subjects for all of us. It was for me. It still is something I have to remind myself of to be more disciplined in different areas in. It is something that is very, very difficult for what I call right brain thinkers. That's what we are, guys. In case you didn't know it, in case you never ever really paid attention to what people talk about when they talk about right brain versus left brain, it is something that is really true, guys. Let me give you a kind of I can't read it because I'm driving, but when we talk about left brain thinking, well, let's talk about ourselves first. When we talk about right brain thinking means that is the dominant side of our brains that we use. We use that side to basically process everything we do. So we talk about creativity, empathy, emotional connection. These are some of the verbs that are used with right brain thinking. So that's pretty much where we reside. We put creativity in a higher position than anything else. You know, when what happens when money get funny? We think we got to be more creative. We got to do more. I got to go learn more techniques. I got to spend more money learning to produce things that are creative so that I can make more. That's a natural response to a right brain thinker that gets in money trouble. That's how we think. Am I not right? Y'all give me a little thumbs up. Ain't that how you think? If money gets short, what do? I just got to go and make some more money. I got to go learn some more stuff. Okay, I want to go learn how to do that technique and this technique so I can bring more money into the place. That's how we think. That is typical. Whether you're a painter, a musician will figure I need to go take some more gigs, or I need to go get some more better paying gigs, or whatever. If you're an artist, I need to paint more. I need to whatever it is. Whatever we do, we believe we need to do more of it whenever money gets funny, right? So then let's take a left brain thinker. Now, left brain thinkers, which drive most right brain thinkers nuts, because right brain thinkers, creative, work, brawn, we think left brain people don't do no work. All they do is sit around and think and strategize and come up with, this is what we think. Now, left brain thinkers deal with logistics. They deal with structure. They deal with analytics. They deal with what I call the back office. That's what a left brain thinker does. They deal with back office stuff. They are what you call the more of the brains, or the you think about your limbs. Your brain doesn't move. If you think about your limbs, your arm, your toes, your feet, your neck, a left brain thinker would basically kind of simulate or be metaphoric to your brain, because your brain doesn't move. But your brain does tell your arms what to do, your legs what to do, your feet what to do, and true enough, we can live without arms, without legs, without feet. But I want y'all to think about this when I say this now. How much can you function without the brain? Think about it. How much can you function without understanding the logistics, structure, all these other things, right? So, it's this constant debate of which is more important and all that good stuff. And the left brain has to be functioning in a at least somewhat superior fashion for anything else in your body to do what it does. The left brain is what tells your arms and legs what to do or not to do. Okay, so let's go back to this money thing. This is something that I have tried to learn more about. I've definitely gotten way better at, and I'm still learning. But this is what I want you all to understand that has to change in our industry. It is very difficult when you're a right brain thinker, which I once was 100% right brain. I had to literally learn how to hijack and rewire my brain and retrain it so that it can start thinking with left brain concepts. Now, I'm naturally a right brain person. I'm creative, I'm intuitive. That is naturally who I am. But when I realized that my money something wasn't happening, I was making it, blowing it, throwing it out the window, making dumb decisions, I realized that that was my right brain, because your right brain is also said to be impulsive. I don't know if you know that. Left brain is the thing that said, let me think about this for a minute. If somebody asks you to do something and you're not sure whether it's the right thing for you, it's your left brain that will tell you to tell them, give me 24, 48 hours to think about it for a minute. That's not what right brain does. Right brain is emotional. Right brain is reactive. Right brain is the thing that, because kids, even when they're small, they're typically a little more right brain, and then they evolve into who they are. Left brain is the thing that's going to think it through, be more what I call proactive. So now let's talk about this money thing again. When we are constantly making poor money decisions, this is what happens. Because we are right brain, we only think, let's go make more money. But I'm here to tell you, it is only when you start to learn how to hijack, which I've learned how to do, and I'm going to tell you some of the things I did, my right brain, to convert it some to left brain thinking, that I was able to then start processing, what do I need to do in order to quit being in these money situations and this constant have money, don't have money, have money, don't have money. What do I need to do to get out of this cycle? And let me tell y'all what I want y'all to get, because some of y'all are here as I was. I didn't want to work no harder. I didn't want to do no more hair. I didn't want to keep having to go in and take more classes just so I could learn something to make more money. I got tired of that. I'm like, I ain't getting no younger. I'm getting older. I don't want to work more hours. I had to figure out, why is it that I only was thinking to do more? That wasn't working. I don't want to do no more. So let me tell you something I heard, and it changed my life. I wish I could remember the man. I was on YouTube, guys. This was years ago. And I heard a guy, I'm gonna see if I can go back. You know how you just be thumbing from video to video. And he talked about the subconscious and the conscious mind, the conscious brain. And have you ever wanted yourself, you'll tell yourself, I'm not going shopping, I'm not buying nothing off Amazon, these are things that I was really addicted to. You'll tell yourself, I'm not buying nothing. That's your conscious mind. But in your subconscious, you'll still do it. And then you be mad at yourself, like, now I told myself I wasn't going to do that, but my subconscious mind didn't get the memo. So you'll find yourself still doing a lot of the stuff that your conscious mind told you not to do. And then we get disgusted. We tell ourselves don't eat certain stuff, and then we find ourselves eating it anyway, and we chalk it up as just lack of discipline. Let me tell y'all something I learned. It's more to it than that. Yes, discipline is something we have to consciously make a decision to do. But your habits and the way you think and the way your brain is hijacked only happens in a subconscious mind, or at a subconscious level. So this is what I learned, guys. The mind, or when we're in total consciousness versus when we're in sleep, our mind goes through three realms. It goes through alpha, theta, and beta. What happens is your alpha mind, when you're alert, when you see stuff, that's your alpha mind. That's everything that's right here. And you see it, you acknowledge it. Your subconscious mind, which is kind of in between, is considered theta. Now, I learned this and I tried something. I'm going to tell y'all what I tried, and I'm going to get to how I hijacked my brain to not be so right brain and to be more left brain. In your theta mind, this is what this guy was teaching. I said, I'm going to try it. He talked about that's where habits are formed. That's where habits are changed. There are things that he recommended, and I ain't buy into it until I did it, that we need to do in order to change our subconscious mind. That's where hypnosis. Now, I ain't no big, I don't know nothing about hypnosis. I ain't never had it, probably ain't never gonna get it, but I understood what he was trying to say. He said, when you are in that stage of theta, you are in where your mind can still absorb stuff, but it doesn't allow your conscious mind to kick it out. Meaning your conscious mind can't talk you out of it, basically. What happens is, he said, if you want to change your habits, that's where your habits and your thought process and you shifting the way you think starts, believe it or not, in your subconscious mind. He said when you're going to sleep, this is the one thing, he said a bunch, but this is the one thing he said that I actually did try. He said when you're going to sleep, you ain't all the way asleep, you're kind of chilling, sitting at home, you know you're about to fall asleep if you're in a chair or if you're in the bed. When you're going to sleep, what he wanted you to do was get some headphones. He wanted you to get whatever, music, podcasts, talks, YouTube videos, it didn't matter. He said, create yourself a playlist. And in the playlist, all I want you to do is play stuff that has something to do with how you want to change the way you think. So if it's something you want to lose weight, you put something in there that talks about better eating, less cholesterol, whatever. Let me tell you what I did. I ain't believe it either, y'all, but I'm telling you, I said, okay, I'm going to try what this dude is talking about because it sounds like some hogwash, but I'm going to do it. I put everything I could. I created a playlist of people like Robert Kiyosaki, Tom Ferry, Ryan Schreiber. I created a playlist where all these guys talk about is better money habits, not living above your means, being that Dave Ramsey, I had him in my ear, debt free. Let me tell y'all something I did, and it's absolutely amazing to me. I literally put that stuff in my ear. I had little post-it notes up at my office. I literally absorbed my brain, conscious and unconsciously, with nothing but debt-free, paying bills off, no credit card, everything that I can find. What happened was I did this while I was like chilling. So it's like in my theta mind, I literally would be asleep. I got a little Bose speaker, and before I even got the Bose speaker, I would just have my phone. I would have my phone running this stuff in my brain while I'm sleeping all night long. Let me tell y'all something. I wish I could remember the man's name. I promise you, what started to happen was my conscious brain. You know how you could be hearing a song, you don't even like the song, and you find yourself singing that song because your conscious mind absorbed what it was that you were hearing. I promise y'all, as God is my witness, I started changing the way I thought about money, not even realizing it. I literally every book I read, everything I did now, even with my conscious mind, I started finding myself being in, if I went in a store and they sold books, or in the airport, I'm in the airport a lot, you see the books, I was automatically, guys, no joke, attracted to money books, financial intelligence, financial IQ, money. I found myself, that's the only book I saw. It could have been 100 books on that shelf, and it was the only thing I saw. So then what started happening, I wanted to get myself to learn. I didn't want to do more. I said, I found myself when I'm scrolling through Facebook, I'm looking at webinars. The only ones that I would want to take was ones that had to do with money, investing, better living, less work, less hours, more money. I literally was able to change the way I thought about money. I'm going to find this guy's name. I'm going to just have to go through. I may have saved the video. So if anybody wants the video, hit me up at 1-800-580-8074. I'm telling you, I thought the guy was talking straight. I was like, yeah, right, because I don't buy into all that. But I promise y'all, I literally was able to rewire my brain to the point now, everything I think, because in order to get your money right, that's not an emotional decision. That has to be planned. That has to be structured. There are some disciplines that have to go into play. And I found that the more I did this, the more I started just absorbing, not even conscious, absorbing these things about changing the way I thought. I literally, guys, was able to restructure, I call it hijack, the way my brain processed information. So then I wanted to read more stuff. Then I wanted to know more stuff. So now I'm seeing these left brain concepts starting to come from everywhere. And I'm like, oh, I like this. Because as I started implementing, now let me tell y'all something. For all y'all that do this, you still got to do it. There's a book I've read years ago called The 4 Disciplines of Execution. You still got to do it. So I said, let me try this. I tried it. It don't take but one time for me to try something and see it work. And I ain't have to work no harder. I said, oh, it's on and popping now. And I literally, guys, was able to change the way I thought about always having to work more, to get more, to have more. I changed it. It changed my life, guys. So now I'm about half and half. I'm a left brain thinker, but I have right brain tendencies. My left brain now has become superior because I've done it in other areas of my life as well. You all that have seen me recently, you like, how you lose weight? I done lost 52 pounds in like 6 months because I hijacked my brain. Now, I got allergic to dairy too, so God gave me a little help. He said, I'm gonna make dairy make you sick. But I still had to choose even other things. I said, let me hijack my brain. Let me start just absorbing stuff about weight loss and healthy living. I did the same exact thing, guys. When I say it's amazing, and it's amazing how fast you can shift. So let me tell you what I do love though. Because I come from a right brain creative world, I love the fact that if I gotta hustle, I ain't got no problem with it. Stuff goes south, I ain't got no problem doing the work. But I'd rather strategize and analyze what is it that I need to do so I don't just have to keep working harder. Y'all with me? So I wanted to put that out there. But let me tell you something, y'all. Y'all know dreams cost, right? Dreams cost money. Every single one of us have a dream. Every single one of us have something that we aspired to do when we were younger or when we opened our first. Think about, for those of you all my salon owners, y'all know y'all my tribe. Y'all know I love my salon owners. Think about when you wanted to open your first salon. Think about the things that you had envisioned that this salon would represent. Whatever it was. Everybody got a different story. I hear a lot of you all say I wanted to represent professionalism. I didn't see it. I wanted to represent where people could come together and work as a team, almost like a family. Woo, woo, woo. I wanted it to be all of these wonderful things that are needed. But let me tell you what didn't happen. And this is where we messed up. Because we only thought with our right brain. We only thought, let's get people in here. Let's just love on each other. We never thought, let's analyze how we're going to do this. Let's find out or do some research or read about what are some of the things I need to put in place so my business doesn't fail. See, that's left brain thinking. What are some of the things that I need to structure and strategize so I can hire better staff more acclimated to the way I want my culture to be and to the type of person I am and the type of leader. See, we didn't think about none of that because all we thought is I got 6 chairs. I'm going to get some people in here that actually are going, what? Now, I'm going to take it back. Some of y'all didn't even go that far. You didn't even get nobody. Y'all, I put a post up, I think, I don't know, about a week ago, and I talked about this. I ain't got no problem with you making a beautiful salon because I had nice salons all my salon career. I made sure they were beautiful, nice, but I did not put cosmetics above finding people to work in these chairs. And that's what I put on there. I want you to spend as much time, not this right brain, this left brain thinking, strategizing, finding out how to get the people to work behind the chairs as you do the chair itself. A lot of y'all, and hey, I ain't mad. You got these she poo poo salons with you didn't pay $1,000 per chair and the salon is beautiful. But I think I put also in the post hashtag pretty don't pay. Pretty don't pay the bills. So I need you all to really think about what I'm saying about helping you shift in the way you think so that you no longer are only operating with right brain thinking. Thinking talent is going to sustain you. Thinking talent is going to be the only way that you make your money. I'm telling you, if you become a right brain owner, you are going to forever be a hostage to your workers. And then what happens? Your dream starts to die. And when your dream starts to die and you got all this money tied up in it, now what happens? Now your home life starts to take a hit, because now you got to put all your money that you servicing in, you got to put it all into business. And now if you had to bring some money home, now you got to make a decision. Do I pay my mortgage or my rent at home, or do I pay the rent here? Which one am I going to do? This is what happens when we don't understand that money does matter. Yes, it does. Money matters. Money will change everything that you do, because dreams cost money. They cost money. But you got to change the way you think to build the strategies and structures in place so they don't cost you money. Trust me, I done done it right, I done done it wrong, I done done it right again and wrong again, and it costs me money every single time. And when it costs me money, now I'm set back. Now I got to figure out how I'm going to make this money. Now I got to work some more hours. Now I got to work some more days, or I got to sit and get in straight crazy strategy mode. This is a never-ending cycle for some of us, and it's because we don't understand how the left brain concepts are the only thing that's going to make you make better money decisions. So let's talk about it. You want to open your first slide. For those of you all that listen to me often, I am 1000% against you getting a loan for your first salon. Don't do it. I don't care. Unless somebody giving you some money, don't you get one dime, not one dime from nowhere, not to open your own shop. Because I'm telling you, or your first shop, I'm telling you, you get somebody's money and then you got to pay it back. And here you are still trying to convert from this right brain thinking to this left brain thinking. And now you stressed out because they hunting you down about your money. You ain't even made no money because you got this beautiful shop with all these chairs in it and nobody working. And I'm telling you, you will be one depressed soul. And then you have to make decisions to walk away and not pay it and not pay leases. And then mess around and mess up your credit some more, because money matters, guys. We got to stop acting like it doesn't. Yes, it does. I need to see y'all at these shows. As many of y'all that be in these weaving, cutting, and color classes, I need to see y'all in these business classes that are teaching y'all about what to do with the weaving, cutting, and the coloring, and how to market it, and how to make the most for doing less. And that's where y'all need to also, I'm not saying don't hone your craft now. I'm not saying that, because I did. But I'm saying you need to balance it out. Try to understand that right brain thinking is not going to sustain you. You're going to have to start thinking, or you're going to have to hire somebody that works with you, that could help you in that area, that could take on that aspect of the business, whatever you need to do. Because also part of left brain thinking is knowing when you need some help, knowing when you don't know. There are three types of people. There are unconscious, incompetent people. That's people who don't even know they don't know. Then there are conscious, incompetent people. They know they don't know. And then there are what we call conscious incompetent people. They know they don't know. And then you have conscious competent. You want to get to the point that you're consciously competent. And the only way to do that is when you are incompetent but conscious of it, meaning you know you don't know. Your left brain will also tell you, go get some help. Go get some help. Go get some people that know what you don't know. Go get a coach. That's what I do. Go get a coach that can help you do what you need to do, that can think for you and start helping you get into the mode of thinking and training and strategizing and understanding what the back office look like and why the front office ain't right, because the back ain't right. Okay, think about this, guys. How many times you have rolled past a business in your car? All you ever saw was this business was booming. They had plenty of business. But then one day, what happened? They was closed. You like, what happened? Because it looked like they were doing well. I promise you, it had nothing to do with talent. I promise you, if it was a restaurant, it had nothing to do with the fact that the food was nasty. It had nothing to do with the fact that the cook can't cook no more. It was the back office that wasn't right. That left brain stuff, that back office, you don't get that right, you're not going to survive, period. And I want to say this to all you all too. Just because you do hair well does not mean you're going to be a good salon owner. It does not mean you need to open a shop at all. That's like saying everybody who's a good cook needs to go open a restaurant. No, you don't. Because being a good cook and running a good restaurant ain't got nothing to do with each other. Nothing. Because if your left brain don't kick in and you know how to cook, ain't no dumping like we do at home. We don't even know how much goes into what. All we want to do is just cook. When you in a restaurant, you got to be consistent. You got to actually have a recipe. You got to know I need 1/2 ounce of this and 2 sticks of butter. And it's got to be that way every time you cook. Not just sometimes, because see, when we come to your house, it might be good today and the next day it might still be good, but it ain't quite the same. That don't fly in a restaurant. Okay, so y'all get me? You want to expand your salon. You want to expand it. How you going to do it? You ain't got no money. You want to expand. It's amazing to me. And I coach a lot of people. And they always say when stuff is bad. I never understood when stuff is bad. And maybe the one salon ain't working. And then they say, or it isn't working to its maximum capacity. And the one thing they say is, I'm going to go open me another one. Why? For what? Master that first one. You ain't got that straight. If your first salon ain't profiting, you ain't got no business opening the second one. Period. And I mean profiting. I don't mean just paying the bills and getting $2, $3. I mean full-fledged profiting. Profiting where you can actually go open another one and still have some money in the kitty. If you ain't at that point, you ain't got no business opening the second one. I don't care if franchising is your dream. You can still hold on to that dream, but you got to get your money right and understand what gross profit and net profit is and cash flow. You have to understand what that stuff means before you start going and getting some more debt. Okay? Then for those of y'all that ain't got no staff, if I hear another stylist / wannabe owner make this statement, I'm on screen. Do not ever say, as long as I'm making enough money to pay the bills and don't have to worry about staff in order to survive, I'm going to go open my own shop. Let me tell you why that's the most stupidest statement you ever could say, because let me tell you what's going to be the reality. You ain't got no staff because you don't know how to get them because that left brain ain't kicked in. You're going to be sitting there using your money. Now, unless you got a sponsor or unless you got a husband or a wife at home that's holding it down, what about what you got to bring home? What about that? When that business starts sucking all your money up and you have nothing to bring home or do anything else with, or you trying to figure out, I got to pay for home, and I got to pay for here, and I got to pay for the business, and I got to pay for kids, you going to be stressed to no end. The biggest comment I get from the people that come to me, and I have to interview a lot of people for coaching today, the biggest thing I hear when they're tired and they're stressed out is they say, I am so tired of working in this salon just to pay these bills. I got bills at home. For all of you all who have made that decision, I myself made that decision back in the day, which I realized was dumb. I was literally trying to decide, okay, I even had a joke about it. It ain't the light bill at the house's turn this week. It's the bill at the shop's turn, because I put myself in positions back then before I know what I know now, where I had to make a choice because I had not figured out that I can't do both. You cannot do both. I don't want you to think like that. Fine. I want you to get to the point that you use your left brain so much that you structure where you ain't got to put no money in the kitty and let stuff happen, because life does happen, and you can walk out the door with all your money. That's when you really running your business. I don't need one dime of my money for my servicing if I still do hair to make this boat float. That's when you really doing business, okay? I'm not talking about when things go bad, you doing what you got to do, because that's what all of us are going to do to sustain. But I'm talking about going in the door with that mindset. That is not what doing business is, guys, all right? And then guess what else happens? You get all salty because you need this money, and you have 5 clients that didn't call, didn't show, and I'm stressed out to no end because they didn't call, didn't show, because I have only thought about doing more hair, more makeup, more trichology, more color. That's all I thought about to make money. I haven't thought about, I'm going to give y'all this, okay? This is where I'm going. One client. Now, you need to join my Money Does Matter Facebook group if you want to learn more about this stuff. You can click in the title, join, $99 a month, cancel at any time, and I do killer videos to help you understand. But I'm going to give y'all this one today. You should be able to get money 4 times from one client. One client. Let me tell you how. They get service. You got that, okay? They buy retail. You got that. That's more money. Same client. I'm just recycling them. You turn around and you start membership programs. They could be all kind of ways, okay? It's a bunch of different memberships, rewards programs. You do like the rest of the world. That's the 3rd way. You get money from that same client. And then the 4th way, you have them work for you. Bring me referrals. Bring me this. I'm going to give you this. And the 4th way is they bring you people, which turns into money. That's one client. I promise you, if you did that with every single client you got, half of them even, oh, you'd make a ton of money. You'd make a ton and guess what? That didn't require you to work no harder. It's the same customer. When she's there, make sure she got her retail. And I ain't talking about just products. I'm talking about if that sister need a satin pillowcase, if she need a dryer, if she needs she got weave, she needs some spray to keep her hair from tangling, she got scalp issues, she needs some tonic for her scalp. Look, I sell dryers. People be like, I don't have a dryer at home. Don't worry about it, I got you. I got you. I'm going to get you a dryer. I'm going to make sure you got the right flat iron. So if I color you, you ain't burning your hair up and they're going to say that your color broke your hair. I don't care what it is. It's 1,000 things you could, and I don't say sell, you could suggest that a client needs. It's 1,000 things. But all we want to do is be creative, stand behind that chair, slave. What the old people used to say when we was younger, just keep living. You keep living long enough and doing this long enough, you're going to get tired of that. You're going to be like, I need to find a way to not have to slave behind this chair. That's what you're going to be trying to figure out. This is something, guys, I cannot stress it enough. But it's going to change. It's going to require you to change how you process information. You're going to have to hijack your brain. Or as Mel Robbins says, anybody know who she is? She's the one who made or wrote the book, The 5-Second Rule. She talked about how she hijacked her brain. She talked about when I first started listening to her, she was saying, I came in and she said, I just want y'all to know motivation is crap. You ain't going to ever be motivated. You ain't ever going to be motivated. And I didn't know what she was talking about. So I said, let me listen to what she's saying. What she was saying is the brain is naturally wired to protect us and help us, what they call fight or flight. That's the cortisol that's released in your brain, that whenever you're doing something that is uncomfortable or that you're a little fearful about doing it, the brain is naturally made to protect you from it. Cortisol is released when you say you're scared. Cortisol is released when you say you're nervous. Cortisol is released, and that's what tells us something ain't quite right here, or at least we think it isn't. And you have to learn how to hijack that so that that doesn't take over, and for some it paralyzes them. It just makes them not move. For others, it makes them fearful and they'll do a little, but they won't stay with it because nobody wants to feel uncomfortable. Well, newsflash, that is when growth happens, is when you're uncomfortable. It will not happen as long as you're comfortable. Robert Kiyosaki says something. That's the guy that made Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I never, ever looked at it this way. But he said for a lot of 9-to-5ers, now this is his opinion, and I happen to agree, so I guess it's mine too. He said the thing that keeps people growing is hunger and wanting more out of life. He said the minute you get a check or you get comfortable is the minute your creativity and your desire to stretch dies. And what I got from when he was saying, I'm not saying that should nobody want no check. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is sometimes getting a check makes people comfortable. Yes, it does. Sometimes when you got a stable clientele, even though other stuff ain't working, you get comfortable. And I've heard people say, I'm doing okay. They own the salons. They ain't profiting. They ain't doing no extra. They just doing average. And they say that's okay. Do they really think it's okay? I've talked to some of them off script. No, they don't. But you know what? They realize that in order to do things that are beyond okay, you're going to have to be uncomfortable. And some people would rather stay comfortable than actually reach their full potential and get everything God has for them. So I'm going to tell you something. For all of y'all trying to live with purpose and you won't, as we say, what God has for me, you're going to be uncomfortable. At some point, you're going to be uncomfortable a lot. I'm just telling you. You cannot have both. Obama said before he left office, for all these people that want privacy and the Privacy Act, he said you cannot have 100% privacy and 100% security. You can't have both. So in life, you got to choose sometime. If you want security, then we may have to listen in on your phone call. But if you want privacy, all right, we're going to mind our business and let whatever happen gonna happen. So we gotta realize being uncomfortable is part of the process, okay? So you don't have to worry about when you start recycling that same client and getting one client to bring you money 4 times, you join my group. I'm gonna give you real tips on how to do this, why money matters, how to be able to I was able to hijack my brain and change real quick. It didn't take me that long, but I'm an executor. I don't have a problem being uncomfortable. I don't have a problem acting, because honestly, when I get too comfortable, I get nervous. I'm like, oh, I'm too comfortable. So I need to stretch some more because I'm too comfortable. I have literally hijacked my brain to do the opposite. So most people call that high achievers. I don't care what you call it, but I want everything God got for me, because I want to get to the point where I can go sit down and just watch everything I've done work for me, okay? So this is something that is really important. For those of y'all, I talked to a girl yesterday. She was talking about she really need to fix her credit. Been there, done that. You can't fix your credit when you don't understand how your money works, because you don't even understand debt reduction. You don't even understand how to make that happen. How do I accomplish debt reduction when in my mind, I ain't got no money? You'd be amazed. I did an exercise with a group. They all talking about they ain't got no money. They can't do X, Y, Z. I said, okay, this is what I want y'all to do. I want everybody to bring me your last 3 months bank statements, almost like you trying to get a loan. I was able to look at those statements and see, okay, what's this? You spent money here, you spent money there. You go back and look at your bank statement and see actually what, if you use debit cards for everything. I do. Now, if you use cash, you got to go through receipts. If you use a debit card for most of your purchases, go back and look at your bank statement and see where you spend your money. I remember when I first did that to myself, man, I had so much money spent on food, fast food, junk. $748 was when I first started really paying attention to that. I had spent on food, y'all. I ain't talking about groceries. I'm talking about junk, stupid stuff. So right there, if I was one to say I ain't had no money, yes, I did. I need to quit buying all that food out. That's how you start. You start from where you are. You say, look, before I start doing other stuff, let me at least do what I can do, which see where my money is going, make a decision. I'm not going to keep spending my money like that. And now the debt reduction starts. You start freeing up money to do other stuff. And I'm not saying you don't have to live, but I am saying there are cycles in your life where you may have to go on a bare bones budget in order to get yourself ahead of the curve. That is just, it ain't forever. You may just say, you know what, right now, this is what I'm going to do so that I can actually get myself to the point where I can pay down some debt that's affected my credit. Because most of us, I'm telling you, you look at that bank statement, you be like, I can't believe I spent that much money. My travel assistant, the girl that's always with me when I travel, that's my right arm. She does everything for me. She actually said when she first looked at it, she loves Chick-fil-A. That girl loved Chick-fil-A. She to buy some stock in Chick-fil-A. She said, I think she had spent like $700 or something like that on just Chick-fil-A for her and her kids. She said she'd have lost money if you had asked her, did she spend that much money on Chick-fil-A? That's where you start. So if you join my group, money does matter. I got it in the title. You will get an opportunity to learn all this little stuff that can help you hijack your brain so you can start thinking structure, and so you can start thinking, I need to get some money from somewhere so that I can decrease debt, so I can do all this other type of stuff that I'm going to need to do. Okay, that is absolutely important. And then, what I got here? I think that's all I got here, guys. Then I want you to start thinking of, once you get your brain to actually think in terms of, how do I increase my money? How do I actually take the same money I have, spend less from it, make myself in a higher profit margin? Then I can start building other aspects of my life. Then I can start leveraging what I already have, and that's what I'm teaching you to do about customers. Leverage them. One client, I need money from her 4 times. That means you have to consciously be thinking about, how am I going to get her to buy this, to get memberships, to do that, to actually bring me people, so that in turn brings me money. How am I going to do that? That means all these conversations we have it in the shop, that's cool. We shoot the breeze, we talk, but you're going to have to change some of those to things that can produce something, and not just whatever and shooting off the hip and talking about a bunch of stuff we ain't got no business talking about in the salon anyway. And you're going to have to make those conversations about money and opportunity and how you can produce more business. These are the things you're going to have to do. And let me tell you something. When you want to start being a big girl or a big boy and you want to start doing real stuff, you're also going to have to understand what financial statements look like. You're going to have to start hiding all your money from Uncle Sam. You're going to have to, I know y'all don't want to hear that, but when you start wanting to do real stuff, you're going to have to start reporting every dime you make. I don't care if somebody give you 2 cents. If you want Uncle Sam to really think you got, or people to really think you got some money, you're going to have taxes that are real. Now, I know, baby, we can get people to make dummy taxes, dummy check stubs. I know the game. We got all that out there. But when I decided I wanted to be able to do things for real, I had to do things right. It was no other way around it. That's what now has afforded me to be able to do things that I was never able to do. Because I said, I ain't trying. Look, all I'm trying to do, I ain't looking for no money back at income tax time. All I want is I don't owe him and he don't owe me. I can break even with Sam. I'm good. That's good enough for me. Okay? You wonder how rich people don't have to pay taxes? How they don't have to pay 1 dime in taxes? I learned, because I did. You know, people talk about Donald Trump, and I got my opinion of him too. I'll be glad when this 4 years over. But one thing I wanted to learn is, how is it that people with that kind of money legally keep from paying taxes? So I studied that thing. Y'all want to know? Join my group. I'm going to tell you. I said, well, I'll be dog. And you know why? Because they are 100% left brain thinkers. Them jokers ain't doing no work. They ain't doing nothing. And this stuff is legal. I'm not talking about getting over on people. I'm talking about just learning how your money needs to move and the stuff you need to invest into. And we ain't talking about you ain't got to do this stuff just when you got $1 million. Join my group. Money does matter. And you'll learn how to do it. Because I really wanted to know. I'm like, how you do that? Because I remember paying and owing Sam too much. I'm like, I need to learn what I need to do, because I ain't trying to pay all these taxes. But I'm going to file every dime that I make. So how do I legally find this out? Oh, I went on a journey, y'all. And I said, so that's how they do that? What? Okay? And it's just using your left brain 100% to understand how money moves, how you can get tax breaks in aspects that even regular middle class, even people that ain't even making 6 figures, can take advantage of some of these things. We don't get a check, guys. Y'all hear me? We don't get a check. You don't work, you don't eat. When you don't get a check and you ain't got no vacation days, sick days and all that, you have to do your money differently. Okay? So click join, $99 for the whole month. Y'all can't beat that with a stick. You'll have 1 live video per month, probably about 1 hour, 2 hours long, where I'm going to school you. I'm going to give you homework, and I'm going to do the learning for you. I'm going to pass it on, and I'm going to say, this is what we got to do, because I was able to hijack my brain and stop thinking, work. I don't want to be no workhorse no more. I'm tired. It's 32 years in this game. I'm not trying to do that no more, but I'm also not trying to cut my throat when it comes to money. So I said, you know what? I'm going to figure this thing out. Because I ain't got to reinvent the wheel. There are people out here that can figure this out. Those are people I'm going to sit under. Those are people I'm going to pay to teach me, train me, pay for their webinars, whatever they got. That's what I'm going to do. And meaning, instead of me spending $1,748 for some food, I'm going to take 3 parts of that and I'm going to invest it into somebody, because I was spending it anyway. I'm going to invest it into somebody that could teach me how to do this thing right. This thing called money. This thing called, I don't want to do hair after a certain amount of time no more, or at least want to choose. Money matters, guys. I'm telling you. Everything you haven't been able to do in your business, every dream that died, it typically died because of money. It died because we didn't have the finances to keep it going. That's what kills it. But it is the area that we put our least energy and money into learning about. No more. Y'all need to join my Facebook group so I can help you. And then I even went further. I got a Money Matters conference that is going to be next year, April 25th, 6th, and 7th in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Y'all hear me? I love San Juan. Probably be my 8th or 9th time there. San Juan, Puerto Rico, guys. This is where we going to get down to the gridiron. It ain't no massive conference. I'm only doing, I think I got 75 people. I already got people signed up. I'm telling you guys, it includes your hotel and your food, and there is no better place, as far as I'm concerned, in the world to go than San Juan. I love that place. You can go on my website, knowledgebynikki.com. You sign up now, your payment's like $30 a week or something. I mean, they cheap. They're real cheap. You got almost a whole year to pay, and it's called Money Matters in San Juan. It is structured for our industry or people who don't get a check, to understand how we got to do this money thing differently so that we can, I don't call it retire, I call it so we can embrace the enjoyment phase, the option phase, I call it, the phase where you can do what you want to do. None of us are going to get there until we start thinking with our left brain and start realizing that talent alone is not going to sustain you for your entire life. It is not. It's still good to have it, and it's still good to hone those skills. But if that's all you're doing, you're going to be working like that to the day you die. It is nothing more disheartening than to see someone 70, 75, 80 years old still doing hair, and not because they want to. If you want to, do you. That's what I just want, the option. If I want to stand up here and do hair and just have something to do, that's fine. But you got a lot of them, y'all. They doing it and they don't have a choice. We got to do better. So y'all, check out my website. If you want the link, I'm going to find it because I believe I saved it to the left brain, right brain thing. You could hit me up at 1-800-580-8074. Join my Facebook group called Money Does Matter, because it does. And I'm going to be teaching you some of the things that I've learned that have put me in a way better position than I once was at some point. I'm still learning. I tell people I am not a financial planner. I am not a money management scholar, but I do understand. When you get a check, I have learned some things that I have done, I've got other people to do, that I guarantee to make sure we don't keep going through this same cycle over and over and over again. So y'all do that. Check it out. Deuces. I'll see you soon.